Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Ron DNA and this is a reading for Sagittarius. I'm sorry I haven't been able to read frequently or consistently. That's going to change from now on. I'm rededicating to the next 100 videos on this channel. So that's a few months at least, if not all year, of readings for your sign. Starting with Sagittarius for the next 3 months. Here we go. So Sagittarians, I hope you've been well. I'm a Sagittarian as well, so let's read for us. We have the God card, the best card in the deck, the protection of the higher power, and Bonheur, which is a God-given gift, is going to be given to us. This is a short game. It's giving us the total feeling of what's going on. It's giving us a theme, a direction for this reading of the next 3 months. And this would be in the first month. So we have maladie, ruine, la paix, and l'étoile de l'homme. So a man in this reading is going to find peace after a turbulent, perhaps health crisis, where there's been a ruin in health or a ruin in solutions of his life. So hasn't been able to solve problems, hasn't been able to face challenges, hasn't been able to conquer and may conquer the problems that are being faced with on a daily basis. So it could be depression, it could be health of the body, it could be health of the mind, it could be spiritual health. This person could be looking for a meaning in life. And there seems to be something has been found, a meaning, a peace, a solution, a treatment to the health crisis. And this person, this man, is going to find peace in that. So if it's meant to be a God-given gift is being given, the treatment or the remedy to a health crisis of some kind or to a crisis of some kind of spirit, and that person finds peace. So further, and this is in the next 3 months, of course, so it's not going to be perhaps today. It could be in the next August, September, October, as we are at the end of August. At the end of July. Okay, we have changement, amour, les pénates, famille. So there's change in your love life, perhaps, change in your relationships. However, these relationships are getting better, it seems. There's not change in the negative side of things. Relationships that are getting stronger or that are on strong foundations around your family. Perhaps you have been through yourself a problem and or a health crisis, and you could be a woman and a man finds or helps you find a solution to your health crisis. So that could also be the case. But in these cards, in these 4 Celtic cross, there is change in your emotional life, and it's a positive change. So perhaps with the solutions of health, there also comes the benefit of, being grateful for having great relationships, being grateful for having the possibility of getting well and being together with the people that you love. So if we continue our draw, so there is a grace of God, a miracle, l'infortune, la grâce, l'élévation, and pensée amitié. So the unfortunate, the grace of God, elevation, and friendship. These 4 cards indicate that you have been having difficulties, and there is a kind of protection, happiness from being given from heaven. The grace of God is descending, and you find yourself in elevation. And this could be as well with friendships as well. People suddenly gather around you. Perhaps you've been, I don't tend to tell people when I'm not doing well. And when they find out if they are really on my side, then they start to gather around or help. And that's the same with me. When I find out that one of my friends is not doing well, I offer help in the best way I can, whether it's to reach out and have a chat, or whether it's more than that. It can, it does happen. But most people tend to suffer in silence. And this is perhaps the case for you, where you haven't divulged your difficulties, but people are finding out, or at the end of it, they find out and they gather around you and try to help. So there's been a betrayal of some kind. This betrayal has affected you deeply in your life. It has been a betrayal, a meanness. You have had to work incredibly hard to stem the tide of the social repercussions around this betrayal. And this could mean many things for you. It could mean losing a job, losing a situation, and loss in general. So what happens next is that the situation that you have been through, the past, is going to be known throughout your friendship groups, throughout your social groups. And in a way, it's a key to your destiny, because people will feel that this is unfair, what's happened to you. There's an unfairness about it. You've had health difficulties, maybe you've had financial difficulties because of it, you've had love and emotional difficulties, you've begged for help and not received it. And then you do receive it, you elevate your situation, and people find out the difficulties that you've been through. They are going to gather around you. Your friends are going to gather around you and realize that you've been betrayed, people have been mean socially, and there's perhaps going to be a reaction to this situation that you're going through. And the reaction is that you will be happy. You will find yourself with fame, fortune, and perhaps a travel. Carrying on the reading for Sagittarius for 3 months. So this is a great reading to start with. And let's carry on. So we have the Fool popping out and the Five of Cups. So this is indicating that you're leaving a situation behind, that you're focused on the lack and you wish to move on. So therefore, you do move on and you have a new beginning here. Now, the Five of Cups can sometimes indicate that you're over-focused on lack and limitation, and you don't actually see the positive side of what you do have left standing. However, some people feel it's an easier way to move forward by turning your back on the past and moving up into the future. So the Ace of Swords indicates a new action, perhaps legal, perhaps business, but definitely action in the forward sense, taking control, moving forward. And the King of Cups is a very wealthy individual, could be man or woman, but they are in control of opportunities, perhaps more than you are, right? So it's not you particularly, it's somebody around you who has the ability to introduce you perhaps to a new job, to a new pastime, to a new, or to make a favorable change in your life that is going to help you. So if we pull on these cards, let's move this here. Sorry, I'm just going to move the Celtic cross to the side, give you a Death and Rebirth, and a Page of Wands. Then in your probable near future, you in the environment of the future, the negative aspects of your environment in the future, and the probable outcome Here we go. Okay, so there's going to be a very powerful figure that comes into your life. And this figure is going to happen quite quickly in the near future. And this reading is for the next 3 months. So in the next 3 months, but in the early stage of the next 3 months, a powerful figure is going to open a door for you, allow you to have a death and rebirth process. So this is, by the way, when you see death in the tarot, it doesn't mean someone's going to die. It means that there is the ending of a situation and the beginning of a new one, because there cannot be yin without yang, darkness without light. There cannot be death without birth. So if there is something ending, there is a new beginning, and the Page of Wands is the very beginning stages of something new that is being nurtured by a powerful figure that opens the door to an emperor. You know, and in the olden days, the reason the tarot is made like this is because emperors used to be surrounded by kings who were their vassals. And the kings were the ones who would introduce the emperor to their interests, whatever that interest would be. So someone needs you. Someone wants to see you. Someone needs your expertise, your abilities, your strength to grow stronger, right? So it's about give and take, and it's about receiving and giving. And so the Page of Wands indicates the beginning of a new venture, and so does the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is also an indication of conflict in terms of taking control of a conflict and winning over it. Okay, and this is positive. Maybe you've had some difficulties, which is indicated in this card here, that you've had a lack of some kind, that you need a new beginning, that you've chosen to do that new beginning, that you've taken control of the situation by moving forward in conflict, perhaps, but you've moved forward, and that leads you to a King of Cups who will open the door to an Emperor. Give you, maybe it's a large company. The Emperor could be a large organization. It could be anything from the state to the church to corporate structures to an individual, high net worth individual who owns many things and is a catalyst to your growth. So what will you do for this person? You know, I think that this person doesn't know actually what you can do for them, and you need to be able to communicate to them correctly what you can do for them. And so it's a bit up in the air, and you with the Eight of Cups, you're imagining things, you're not actually based in reality. You need to ground yourself, but you do. And that's the Hermit. The Hermit is actually a very positive major arcana card in terms of you've reached the pinnacle of success in your field. You've reached the top of the mountain, and now you are lighting the way for others to come behind you. That's why he's alone. And you are defining yourself by your wisdom. And this is going to lead you to the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords, even though swords indicate conflict in many occasions, in this case, the Six is past the worst conflict. It's, again, I am leaving a situation behind. I am moving forward. And I'm moving forward with my family and with the people I love. They're not dead. I'm not dead. You know, I haven't failed. It's just moving forward. And this brings you to a success. So notice this, you have the Six of Swords and the Six, sorry, let me move it a bit closer, and the Six, like this, of Wands. And this is a success card. The Six of Wands indicates victory over a conflict, victory over a difficulty, a challenge of some kind. So I found this to be very helpful for the next 3 months. Let's move on. This was, and I did mention it was the early part of the next 3 months. I think I have more questions in terms of who is this emperor, where do they come from, what do they want, how do you give them what they want so that you can elevate yourself further in your role and establish yourself more strongly after such a difficult time of conflict, and perhaps there may have been money issues, there may have been legal issues, there may have been family issues, people who supported you who didn't want to support you anymore. But remember, in the last draw, it was very positive. The next 3 months are very, very positive for you. So this is, again, here, I'm not making this up, you saw me shuffle. It's the 6 of Wands, and the 6 of Wands is then followed again by the Ace of Swords. Okay, it's repeating the same cards. You are going to win something that you've been fighting for. You are going to be victorious. Whatever the struggle has been, you are winning. And a lot of tarot readers don't say that when they see certain cards being pulled. They don't say it as clearly as I'm trying to tell you. You are winning. You are, perhaps the winning comes at a cost, but you are the victor. And that is that is a God-given gift, is given over a challenge. So you've been betrayed. This is the card of betrayal. People have stabbed you in the heart. It could have been emotional. It could have been physical, actually. It could have been, allegorical in the terms of spiritual, and someone is trying to pull the wool over your eyes, steal from you your intellectual property, which has happened to me. I mean, it's crazy what people think they can get away with, but if you don't protect yourself, no one will protect you. So there is a financial choice coming after a judgment. The judgment of heaven is coming down, and it may be coming through court systems, it may be coming through lawyers, it may be coming through many things, but it's going to give you a financial choice to make. And the choice that you're going to make is going to lead you to the end of your cycle of karmic lessons, and the end of a lesson cycle. I don't know if you follow the mystery school, if you understand what that means. You're here on this plane of existence to learn karmic lessons and to be educated on a soul level as much as on a physical level. And in fact, if you're watching this, then that's why you are trying to understand what's going on in the future, what choices to make. This indicates you're coming to the end of the cycle. And it also indicates success. It indicates success, victory, and overcoming all challenges. You've been backstabbed. People have been really mean to you. I know how that feels. Maybe you're different. Maybe you're an empath. And empaths tend to be abused very easily by the lizard folk or whoever it is that is against us, right? So here are 4 more cards for this Celtic cross. So the devil. This could indicate a contract. It could indicate a corporate setting, that you are making a deal with the devil or making a deal with a corporate setting, somebody very powerful, to work for them, to become part of their organization. And this leads you to the Queen of Cups. So you're going to be saving your money. You're going to be saving your resources, saving your money, saving your time, saving your energy, saving everything for yourself, and you're going to be in control of that resource. You don't want to allow others to take your resources anymore. And here we have the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups indicates, again, a confusion in terms of choices, but at least you have the resources under your control. And the 7 of Swords, so the next card up from what we saw, you are winning and moving on. Life is a constant flow. It doesn't just culminate into a climax and then end, and it's climactic all the time. The climax ends eventually, and you have to move on to the next lesson, to the next episode of your life, to the next cycle of learning. And this indicates that you are moving on, but you're moving on again with resources. You may not know what's next and what to do next, but you have the resources at your disposal, and you also have a contract. Perhaps you are not indebted, but you are beholden to some corporate structure that gives you security, and you want that. It's not something that is being taken from you. It's something that you give freely. You're giving your time and your energy freely to this. If I pull one more card to give you an answer as to what area, so it's justice. It could be a corporate office, it could be a legal office, but whatever it is, this is a justice card, It means that you're making a deal with the devil in terms of justice. You're finalizing a case, and you're coming to some kind of an agreement, but it's in your favor. And it's almost like it's a wish come true. I don't know if you can see this particularly, but it's the Four of Cups, and it's a wish come true. You didn't, you wanted this to happen. It did happen. And here it is. You then become the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Not only do you have resources, you also are known to not be screwed with, right? Nobody wants to screw with you anymore because they know that you're going to win. And you're a winner, and that's the key to life and to winning. And then boom, you get the Ten of Cups. You get the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Cups is, your wish is fulfilled. So you suddenly know what direction to come into. Perhaps you purchase a home, or you find a home to purchase. You purchase land, you purchase a home, you go on vacation, you stabilize your children's education, you become the High Priestess, right? So the High Priestess is someone who's intuitive, who knows the difference, who manifests, and is the second card after the first, which is the Magician, so it's also a card of manifestation. The High Priestess was the manifester of the temple, and she was the one who would decide on the fate of the kings, and would portent the augurs of tomorrow and say, you're going to go into conflict, you're going to be at peace, you're going to have a great reward, you're going to have 7 years of famine. And so you will become this person, you will become the High Priestess. Success comes in weird ways, and sometimes we're so successful, or we become successful after a period of difficulty, and we don't know we're successful. And this is, and then it dawns on us. It's like a dawn, very slowly. You wake up in the dawn and you think, oh, wow, what a beautiful light. Oh, it's dawn. Oh, wow. It takes a few minutes, maybe a few days, maybe a few months to realize that you've won, that you're out of it, that you've come to the place that is calm and intuitive and grounded, and that you are successful and nothing is going to touch you anymore. So, you take control of your destiny. That is what you're doing. You're taking control of your destiny, and you're deciding to move on to a different pasture. Right. Okay. So that's really the game that I wanted to provide you with today. The message of 3 months. So I hope I've made some sense to you, and it looks like you're successful, that you are finding the right allies, winning the right battles in order to win the war. And because it looks like you have been at war, that you have had a conflict, that it is difficult, that there are challenges, that life isn't just an Instagram rosy page, and it's full of ups and downs, twists and turns, and it's interesting, and it's very inspiring to be alive, and to win your war, to win your conflict, to win over challenges. And a lot of people don't like perhaps that the words that are being used, but it is the way the tarot was built in order to convey. It was drawn and it was built and structured in a way that it conveys this kind of conflict and resolution, yin and yang, dark and white, light and black, and peace and harmony compared to war and conflict. And so, and every level of spirit, physical, emotional, financial, in every aspect of your life, you're going to be at peace. You're going to be at peace, and you're going to move on with your accolades. But it's well won. It's hard won. It was a hard win. You've been through it all. And I thank you very much for your time. Please, if you need a private reading, click on the channel sign up page, which is listed on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, please, to my channel to help me grow. And I hope that you'll come back for the next reading in your sign. Take care.